This is my microphone. This is my storytime tea. And this is Jess Paul. You like new catchphrase? Because it's not going anywhere. So first off, I want to thank everybody that watched the first episode of the This Is Jess Paul game show? I don't know what we're calling this. Comment down below what the wheel show is called. I named it after my channel and then that's as far as I got. So as of this moment that I'm filming this, it has been a mere 21 hours after I posted that, and I've gotten a lot of nice comments. I was really excited to see what everybody thought, what everybody wanted to see, and unsurprisingly, I got a lot of votes for Rect Radio, and it reminded me how many people are still here after all these years. I started Rect Radio in 2009, so it's going on 10 years since I started that show. And I kind of wanted to do a special bonus vid. This is not the result of the game show wheel. That's on Monday. Stay tuned. But I wanted to do a little special kickback just to say thank you for all the people that have been here for so long. As of right now, it is neck and neck with acting and filmmaking and story time. I also got some votes for adulting. Guys, that's not a category. And believe me, I should not be the one that you're asking adult advice from. You see where I'm sitting? This isn't my Christmas tree. This is my parents' Christmas tree. I'm 28 years old, I don't know how to drive a car, and I live in my parents' house. I'm moving out soon. Raise your hand in the comments section if you are not adulting. If Rect Radio wins in the comments section from the audience choice, I will do an actual legitimate Rect Radio News episode, the green screen, the bad jokes and all. If you want to watch that, make sure to comment in the section, not in this video, but in the This Is Just Paul episode premiere. I bought a game show wheel off the internet and now it's my show. Go comment in that section. Even if you already commented and said Rect Radio, comment again, I'll count it. But anyways, on to the reason that you actually clicked this video. So how I got this idea for this video. I was streaming the heck out of my Third Eye Blind Spotify playlist last night while I was working, and I had the idea, why don't I do a good old-fashioned YouTube classic reaction vid to my first ever and possibly most popular, it's got 11,000 views, that's pretty good. When did 2010. So I had only been doing Rect Radio for 1 year when I did my first interview, which was with Stephen Jenkins of Third Eye Blind. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Third Eye Blind is one of my favorite bands of all time. Probably in my top 5. Hey, if you guys want to see a video on my top 5 favorite bands of all time, like this video. So let me give a little behind the scenes background about how I got this interview in the first place and before it all began. So when I was doing Rect Radio, I quickly became friends, internet friends, never actually met anybody in real life. With all of the music reviewers and the interviewers, Sammy of Rocket Out Blog, Brian Stars, Anthony Fantano, a lot of other great people and channels that were in the music community. We were all across America, all across the world, but we messaged each other sometimes. And I was like, if I'm doing this show, why can't I interview musicians that I love? So in 2010, obviously, I saw that the Bamboozle Roadshow was coming into town with Third Eye Blind, All Time Low, Good Charlotte, and I'm like, man, it is a pipe dream, but if I could talk to those people, especially Third Eye Blind, which I have literally loved that band since I was not supposed to be listening to their music, then that would be amazing. So I emailed both Third Eye Blind and All Time Low. All Time Low at the time of Rect Radio was a super huge band. They never got back to me, but Third Eye Blind did. It's funny because I think it was a mistake that they said yes to my interview. When I actually got there, everybody was like, "Oh, Rect Radio, what radio station are you on?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not. I'm a YouTube show." And everybody was pretty surprised at that. I think they thought that I was a locally playing radio station, and I was just a girl who'd had a YouTube show from her bedroom for a year. Even when Stephen Jenkins walked into the trailer, he learned that it was on camera, and he had to go get his sunglasses because he was not ready for that. It was like 90 degrees. It was so hot. And I wore this stupid dress from the Macy's, like, junior section. And as the weeks went on, I was getting more excited until I saw Brian Starr's video where he interviewed Stephen Jenkins and the rest of the band. Stephen Jenkins was not having it. Not listening to Brian Starr's. He was walking around the trailer. And I was so terrified that, one, you know, the never meet your heroes kind of thing, I was going to find out that, you know, Stephen Jenkins was like a jerk. But that also, the first time I was ever interviewing a band at all, be it one of the biggest bands I've ever loved, was going to make it really hard for me. But, spoiler alert, it turned out really good. Another little behind the scenes tidbit that was funny then to me, and is even funnier now, is that we were setting up, and Katie was my cinematographer / assistant, and we literally broke and shattered a light bulb on the floor of this trailer and had to clean it up. It was just like, man, that's good luck right there, if there ever was any.
I never know. I'm the worst analyst of my own music. You're gonna have to do that later.
Yeah, I've been doing it my whole life, so. So I included footage from the show that I actually watched, and as you'll see, it's super dark. Like, he's not lit barely at all. That was because that day in Pittsburgh, there was a huge storm. It was really actually disgusting. Like, we were in the parking lot or the lot of the actual amphitheater, and there were flyers all over the ground, and they, like, the pulpy bits of paper had just soaked and were just sticking to the backs of our legs. So anyways, all the power went out, and I think that the sound that you're actually hearing is from maybe like some generators or something, because that you could hear him, but they did not have external lights, and it was very intimate. It was so special because they continued on the show. I think All Time Low did as well, and it was awesome. Another thing about All Time Low, a couple days after, it had to be maybe like a week after I had gone to this leg of the Bamboozle Roadshow, All Time Low put out a tour video that included our city. And there was one point where Alex Gaskarth goes on to stage, or maybe it was Jack, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so hungover. We're so hungover. We don't even know what city we're in. And I see my bridges in the background. So you guys have been through 4 albums so far. 4 studio albums.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, right? 4? Did I count right?
And then on the 4th album, we got rid of all the technology and went back to just recording things on tape. And that's what we're going to do on the 5th album that we're going to do this summer. Is we're just going to keep it a very low technology kind of thing. So.
Is that Ursa Minor?
Ursa Minor, yeah.
They never released an Ursa Minor. I'm wondering if that was a joke after Ursa Major. They released, I think, 2 or 3 more albums after this one. I love them all. Literally, they were a band. They are a band. I could literally listen to them play the phone book, and it would just sound amazing, because it's just it's the sound, it's the lyrics a lot of the time that just completely, like, I gravitate to. What do you think of the other band you're touring with at Bamboozle? Because they're a lot, we've got the, kind of like the pop punk going on, the skinny jeans. It's funny because on my first interview, I did like the Between Two Ferns things, and I was just like, I would say a statement and then hand the microphone to him like, so you made a new record. Pretty great, huh? You know, there were outtakes to this. Okay, let's click on this. Oh. The URL you requested cannot be found. So, I don't know where this page went. Why is this page not in this anymore? Is it on my Vimeo? Ah, here it is, the outtakes. Another 4 minutes. Let's watch these. This is Jess Paul of Wrecked Radio, and man, when I was younger doing record radio, video quality did not matter. I had decent quality on the camera, and I decided to just export it badly. And the reason was because it would upload faster onto the internet. I didn't want to wait. I was too impatient. I'm sitting here talking
Jess Paul or Jess Paul?
Jess Paul.
Jess Paul, hi Jess.
Hi. Hi, Steven.
Hi.
And shake your hand yet.
Nice to meet you. ridiculous thing I've done for money.
Yeah.
Another thing, the reason why I would eventually use Barbie dolls and wooden spoons, ladles, kitchen spoons as microphones was because not even that microphone actually worked. I knew that I just needed something to point at somebody's face to signal them to talk, but I did not have the technology to actually hook up a microphone, nor was I going to buy one and figure that out. So I literally just took an old, not plugged into anything, no battery, karaoke microphone, put my logo box on it, and called it a day.
My boss and I said, well, Chuck, I hate to tell you this, but you're fired. And I left.
I'm great, Gus.
I love Gus. There was a ghost in my beach house once. It was awesome. And then at one point I go, you know what? This is my fucking house.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was glad that I asked him about ghosts, because I think that's a really fun subject. But one thing that I completely regret is that, you know, this was my first interview. So I asked all like the really standard magazine type questions, but I didn't like go into the years of me dissecting their songs and like asking about like, what was your inspiration for Semi-Charmed Life when, you know, you sang about crystal meth? Like, I'm sure that people have asked him, you know, deeper things about his kind of like messed up, songs, but I had a chance to ask and I didn't. And I think I got better with my interviews as Rect Radio went along, and I did meet some people, some other musicians that I had listened to for a long time and really loved. Did I really ever ask the hard-hitting questions? I don't know. I really like the fun questions because that really got everybody, like, into the mood. As well as this, when I introduced her to the mix, like, it just set off such a fun mood for the rest of the interview. And, like, the Rect Radio interviews that followed were just so lighthearted. They were fun to be there. I was having fun. I was a lot more outgoing with my interview style and what I wanted to ask of people. I wasn't as afraid. I wasn't as awkward. But this still was kind of, you know, one for the books because still to this day, last night, you know, just jamming out to years of their recordings. I probably listened to Motorcycle Drive-By like 4 times in the last 24 hours. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little Rect Radio story time. Again, if you do want me to do a Rect Radio news episode, go to the episode, comment down below what you want to see off the wheel. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week until Monday when we do release whatever the audience choice will be. Have a great week, guys. Bye. I'm hoping that I can connect to the thousands of people that follow me every day with the things that I love. Guys, I'm so excited! And if you'd like to join me on this weird journey, it is now the moment to spin the wheel for the very first time.